Hi guys, this is Crystal. I'm your sous chef over at Synopsis, and today I'm going to introduce Chef Joe Principato over at Roche.
Chef Joe is going to be searing off some rock cod, and he's going to be discussing the Maillard reaction.
This is Joe from your Urus Cafe. Welcome into my home. Today we are going to be talking about seasoning food and searing food. And I'll be talking about this in more detail shortly. Let's start one thing so we can get going. We are going to make a seasoned oil for our fish. Today we are cooking and searing black cod. So I have some extra virgin olive oil. I'm turning the flame on low, okay? And I have some garlic cloves, okay, whole garlic cloves. I'm going to use about 3, perfect number, and a sprig of thyme. So while this goes, let me explain to you what the inspiration for today's dish is. By the way, my dog Remy says hi, right on cue. A lot of people often ask me, what is the big difference between a home-cooked meal and a professionally cooked meal in a restaurant? I've been asked that question often. To me, it boils down to 3 things. First and foremost, seasoning. I think the professional chef is not afraid to season aggressively. Number 2, it is the use of heat. The professional chef is not afraid to use high heat, low heat, control the different kinds of heat, and whether they're using a moist heat or a dry heat, okay? There's not just one setting to your stove or to your oven. And finally, number 3, the big difference is, well, professionally cooked meal, you don't have to do the dishes. But anyway, so today we're specifically going to talk about seasoning and specifically also about the Maillard process. My French pronunciation is awful, but we have a chemical reaction that was first brought to light in 1912 by a French chemist, Louis Camille Maillard. And what this reaction really has to do is with everything we love to eat. A crusty bread, a perfectly seared steak, that marshmallow on the coming off the fire, that wonderful color. Some of you may refer to caramelization, but actually it's a step below that. The Maillard process really refers to a chemical process of amino acids, okay? And through heat, and we're really talking about you have to get to at least 330 Fahrenheit and not really get past that 400, 420 Fahrenheit because it's a very fine line, slippery slope between a perfectly brown piece of fish or meat and something that is burnt. So all I'm doing here is I am infusing my oil with a little bit of sprig of thyme from the garlic and some garlic. Hello. So, what are we doing today? This is a piece of black cod. Beautiful piece of fish. It's about 7 ounces. It's a very healthy portion for dinner. Definitely could be a couple ounces less for lunch. It's very sustainable fish. Local fish. Okay. So when I talk about seasoning aggressively, you have to realize this protein, this muscle flesh, it's fairly thick. It's about 1.25 inches thick. So you have to season both sides to get the flavor to permeate. So what we have here is we have some kosher salt. And I have perfectly normal iodized salt at home too for some uses. Kosher salt, I should warn you, is not iodized, so you may be lacking that if this is all you use from your diet. But kosher salt is a little bit coarser and has a little different taste, and it's usually preferred choice in professional kitchens. This is some black pepper that I grind myself in a spice grinder. It's a lot more cost-effective and also much better quality to have fresh ground pepper. So what we're going to do is, and I should mention, in order to get a nice crust and color, this fish has been patted down with paper towels. Any excess moisture or water will turn up, will reduce the heat in your frying pan, and you get that water in there, you get that steaming effect, and that's the big difference. So we're going to be very generous with the salt, okay, and the pepper. We're going to flip it over, okay. Now, I would say that one of the main things about professionally cooked food is also presentation. And it starts really, it's not what you do at the end of the plate, it starts here. So this right here, we have, this is the skin side of the fish. You can see how it's concave down. And this right here is the flesh side, closest to the bone. So we always want to present the flesh side, which means this is the one that is going to go down first into my oil. Okay, so I'm moving over the garlic, the thyme, and we're going to go, okay, I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit, and I hope you can hear the sizzle, okay? I'm going to, excuse my back here, I'm going to move here. Okay. This is very important. At this point, I'm going to remove the garlic. This garlic served its purpose. Okay, it has flavored the oil. Okay. Turn the heat all the way up. Okay. I hope you try this dish at home. You can use regular cod. You can use a fillet of sole, or don't be gentle with it. It's going to take a lot less of a cooking time. The concept is the same for a piece of steak. The difference is, with a piece of steak I usually use, because of the richness, I usually use 50% extra virgin olive oil and then maybe 50% butter. Very high heat. That's how you get that steakhouse feel, that caramelization. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to gently flip this over. Okay? And I want to bring this close. As you can see, that's the color you want. Okay? Getting hungry yet? So at this point, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. For something like a filet of sole or something thinner, you could finish it here. For me, the perfectly cooked piece of fish should have this brown color and should be soft and moist on the inside. So I'm actually going to finish this in the oven. I'm going to turn off my burner. Okay? And these are professional pans. This is a silicone handle. Can withstand the heat, no problem. And here we go. And just like magic, our fish is done. And here we are. Beautiful. Okay. Would you like me to show you how we're going to serve this to make a great light lunch? Follow me. Some of you know I'm very proud of where I'm from. I'm from Sicily, southern Italy, and I love Mediterranean flavor. So we're gonna play a little bit off of this today. So we're gonna make a salad, more of a salad or a garnish or a quick relish. Okay. So I have my bowl. So here we have some beautiful wine-ripened tomatoes that I've simply rinsed and cut into wedges. Okay. Here we have some Kalamata olives. That's what I had today. You can use some Niçoise, some Picholine, some Gaeta olives. Okay, these are simply, I don't like to take a knife to these unless I have to. These are simply split in half by my hands. Here we have some wonderful capers. Okay. We have some Bermuda onion that is just slivered, very sweet. Okay. Now we have some Sicilian oregano. Yes, I brought this with me last time I visited. Anytime you use dry herbs, you always never want to pour. You always want to crush in between your fingers, and that will release the oils. Okay. Now, one of my specific tenets, one of my beliefs is you have to have acid in food. Acid brightens the palate. Acid we're using today is some wonderful lemon juice. My neighbor's got a wonderful lemon tree, so here we go. I'm going to use my old-fashioned strainer through the fingers here. Okay, I like quite a bit of acid. Okay, so I'm going to go with the whole lemon. Okay, now, a couple things to notice. The fish was seasoned aggressively. We have olives and capers, which are both salted. That's how they're preserved. So I'm not going to add any salt. Okay? And finally, we don't need to at this point, but you could always use a little bit of a drizzle of olive oil. Okay? So I'm going to mix this. Okay? And we're going to start plating. Okay, so I'm going to put some of the salad on the base here. Another difference in the presentation between a professional kitchen and a home kitchen is plating. The home cook tends to plate and present in 2 dimensions, length and width. I think the professional chef always remembers to use the 3rd dimension, the height. So this fish is beautifully done. You can tell by the feel starting to come apart. And I'm gonna place this so. Okay. I have a little bit of the cooking juice, the cooking oil. I'm gonna drizzle that, and we're gonna garnish. So what I have here is a couple of different things. I have some radish that I've sliced very thinly. Okay. And then I have some chimes for the garden that I've cut pretty lengthy. It's about an inch and a quarter at a bias. Okay. And now, again, we're also going to take a little bit of that acidity, sprinkle that on top. Wipe the plate, and here we are. I hope you make this dish in whatever variation you like. I hope you enjoy it with your families. I hope to see you soon, and more importantly, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.